plums, whatever. It works. We're here though. Super excited for today. I guarantee this is going to be one of my favorite live streams that we've done ever. And I know for a lot of you guys, it's going to be one of your favorites too. But if you can see us and you can hear us, just say something in the comments, say hi, let us know that you're here. Travis is going to be watching the comments there. And you're on live. So go ahead and chat with us. We want to see your name pop up. We want to see who's watching the replays too. So if you're watching the replay and this is if you're on the replay, type the word replay. If it's your first time on here, I'd love to hear you say like first time, or this is my first time on the live stream. Just give us something in the chat. Let us know that you can hear us. Let us know you can see us. I'm super excited for today because today we have with us Mr. Maxwell Tucker of the Dojang live on the line. He's going to be talking about how he was able to go from just a small club of 5 students operating out of one of these bounce house jump zone type places all the way into having his own Dojang. He's got over 130 students now. I'm excited to hear about all that. We're going to break down his story. It's going to be very encouraging, very inspiring. I know there's a lot of people here that are in the same boat as Max, that maybe thought it was maybe they're too small or not enough students to do anything to get going, and so this is going to be great for you. Or maybe you've got a bunch of students already and you're looking to add a bunch more. All the same principles that Maxwell is going to be sharing with you guys can apply to any size school. So it's going to be really, really cool to see and to hear. So just go ahead and leave us a comment if you can hear us and if you can see us. And I'm going to be reading those comments for feedback. Travis is going to be watching those real closely. And for now, before we get into Max's story, I'd just love to know, like, how many of you watching here would love to get a bunch of new white belts on the mats? I remember when I talked to Maxwell way back when he first started, it was about 3 years ago. We started him. I didn't really hear much from him for like 2 months. And then I just shot him a message like, hey man, how's things going? He's like, oh, I've got 67 students, 70 students on the mats and moving into the Dojang. And I was like, wow. So let me know if you would be excited about that. If you would be, just say, yeah, I'd be excited about that in the comments. Let us know. But, maybe you guys have been out there and you've tried like marching in parades or going to public schools, doing the demos and the talks and the community events and random birthday parties and all that kind of stuff, boosting posts maybe, or hiring an agency or something like that. Maybe you did what Maxwell did, where he was going just kind of grassroots, doing the old school strategy, putting up signs, PE classes, that kind of stuff, mailers. And maybe you felt stuck. Maybe you're feeling stuck and, trying to get new students on the mats is just not working consistently. That was basically Maxwell's story. And so I'll let him share exactly how that has all impacted his school specifically. But go into the comments right now. Just let us know you're here. Say hi to Maxwell, and just let us know that you're here, that we can see you, that you can hear us, and we're going to go through it. So maybe you've tried that stuff. I'd love to know what else you've tried. Maybe, I ran through the list there. We talk a lot about what people have tried and haven't tried, but I'd love to hear if you've got something maybe unique that you've tried. And I'd love to just kind of bounce some of those ideas off of that. But without further ado, Maxwell, how are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic.
Awesome, man. It's so awesome to have you on here. We're here to celebrate the growth of your school. Finally, you've been with us a while and you just like explosively grew. I use your story so much when we're talking to people who, have doubts about where they want to be, because it's just one of my favorites. But if you would just go ahead and introduce yourself, kind of give us a little bit of your backstory, and then we'll kind of really dive into the meat of the interview and show everybody how fast things can change. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey guys, my name is Maxwell Tucker. I'm a 5th degree black belt. I teach Taekwondo here in the Trussville, Birmingham, Alabama area. And yeah, I was thinking about that today. I've been with John 3 years this month. 3 years this month. I started in, I outfitted a location, got mats, everything like that. And I just couldn't pull in enough people to really make it worth staying there. So then I had a little bit of money left, and I decided to move into a better location, or into a better area. And I found a pump it up there that the lady rented to me for like $600 a month for like 2 hours a day, because that's what I could afford at that time, because I just failed, because I was doing what I was always taught since I've been teaching when I was 13 years old. And I remember John helped me turn my ads live. I went up, ate a sandwich that afternoon, came down. I was like, I have more leads from after eating a sandwich than I've gotten in like the past month. And I was like, yes. And then from there, I just ran them, and I had some help running leads, and I kept on going. And next thing I know is at like 100 people in the matter of, 3-4 months. And I was working at the car wash at the time. I haven't worked at the car wash in about 3 years now. And I'm running, and each month is bigger than the next. And after Rona, Rona didn't really affect me that much, because I was able to put some of what John teaches into practice. And then once, the mandates lifted, I just kept going. And from there, I just kept on getting stuff more automated through like the high level and John's, the follow-up ninja. And now I work a lot less, and the school makes a lot more. So that's always the goal, is to work less and get more done.
I love it. It's awesome. So I'm going to back you up. That was an awesome introduction, man. And I thank you so much for the props there. Obviously, you're doing all the work, so we can't take credit for any of it. We just gave you a system to implement. You're actually doing it, which is awesome. But I appreciate all the, the accolades and the mentions. But let me back up a little bit. So I didn't realize that you had a place before you went into the bounce house. How long were you in business before we met?
8 months. I started enrolling people at that school because I had about $10,000. I used that to situate it, but I just couldn't, I couldn't hold the sign long enough. I couldn't go to enough schools. I couldn't spend. I sold my car so I could pay for some flyers, because I lived like right around the corner. So I sold my car to pay for flyers, and I think I spent $2,000, and I got 2 leads out of that. Oof. And then that's when I decided to Trustville and work with you.
Awesome. I love it, man. So, I mean, a lot of you guys probably been stuck longer than 8 months, but I love how Maxwell's an action taker, man. When I first met him, we just met over the phone, and he was like, yeah, I got to check on a couple things and I'll let you know. And sometimes we hear that on the phone. We're like, okay, I'll be the blue guy in the back holding my breath. But the next day, I think, or maybe 2 days later, he was like, yeah, let's go, let's do it. And from that day forward, just hit the ground running. So it's awesome. But, I think a lot of times when people get stuck where they're at, it's hard to make plans for the future. You had probably big plans for the place. And as that starts to kind of fall apart, you stop thinking about that stuff. You just get zoned in on like, oh my gosh, I got to sell my car to get flyers. And you forget that there's actually people that have done this already before you. And so when you did the flyers, you mentioned a little bit of the stuff that you were doing before. What else were you doing as far as marketing before you found us? And we'll talk a little bit about the shifts that you went through after the fact. But how did you get the students that you had?
I literally would go out and hold a 4x4 sign on like the road front and wave at people. And some people would call, of course, most didn't. I went into PE classes, taught PE, handed bracelets out that had my phone number. And I would go to, whatever city parade, city fest, have a booth and wave and, just do that, put signs out on the road, try to be present in the community, because that's what I was taught to do. I guess that's what worked in the late 90s, early 2000s. But That's all I could do. And then I just would sit at the school because my classes were empty.
It's crazy. It's awesome to see how much stuff has changed. So for anybody that's watching right now, and we got a lot of people on right now, but anybody that's watching that maybe looking from the outside in, what the thing that we helped Maxwell with was really not just throwing a bunch of random marketing stuff out there and just trying to get your name out there. We have a very specific approach, and it's very much a step-by-step, takes a complete stranger, helps them along this little path to where they can make these little tiny micro commitments toward being a fully enrolled paying student. And that's exactly what Maxwell's been able to tap into here. He's really a great example of somebody who's followed the process and even kind of made it his own, but still stuck to the core principles of the process, which I love. And that's great. I mean, so you're at 135 students now. I think I talked to you right after you started with us and you had like 70. So explosive growth at first, and kind of leveled off. Did Corona dip down and then come back up? What's the most students you've ever had?
The most students I've had were what I got up to 200 before Corona time. And then I took a dip, but revenue wise, I'm actually substantially higher than I was before Corona, because after Corona, I enrolled people for about a month or two, and then I doubled my price and I kept on enrolling people. And now with the price bump and everything, I'm getting the people who stay and come are my higher quality customers, the people I want. And that's one reason I'm able to, work less hours. Because when I was at $200, or when I was at 200 students, it was just it was rough. So Rona.
Okay. Sorry guys, we got disconnected there. Is it a new post then?
I'm working on figuring that out right now.
Okay. Well, Travis is figuring out that technical stuff. We're back with Maxwell. I'm not sure where we dropped off, but what we were talking about was the fact that two things: having a marketing strategy and having a way to get students sort of on demand, on tap, gives you the positioning to set your own prices, make your own roster, kind of pick and choose who comes in and enrolls in your school, which is awesome. And we talked about how also outside circumstances, like things like the Rona, as Maxwell calls it, can actually strengthen your business when you have these kind of processes in place, as opposed to destroy a business. We've seen, sadly, a lot of businesses get destroyed because of outside circumstances. But when we see things like this, just a simple strategy. I mean, Maxwell, you could probably test this, but like, how complicated is our system?
It's super, super easy. It's just straightforward, simple, and easy to replicate too. And so when I try to do stuff for a business, I try to idiofy it. Make it so simple an idiot could do it. Yeah. And that's one of the marketing now is one of the smallest parts of my day, one of the easiest things to do, and just because it's not just the system, but the knowledge that I gain from it. That's the most valuable thing to me, is the knowledge. Because now I feel if I start another school or another business, I know just 10 times more as far as digital marketing, and just from going over like a regimented process and system.
It's awesome. Yeah. I mean, it's all duplicatable. That also makes it scalable, because you don't have to be doing everything. You can offload stuff to other people and they can replicate the same results. So it's awesome. So strategy is great, not just lead generation, but also the follow-up part, the enrollment strategy. And so, I want to get into very intentional about the time you spend and the numbers and what you expect and stuff. So when you spent money in advertising in the past, did you have any kind of detailed way to track the success or to kind of figure out what results were?
No, nothing more than, a notebook. When someone came in and was like, "Hey, I got your flyer. Awesome. So now we have two." Like, that's about as detailed as it is. Now I could go into the system, the follow-up engine, and see, oh, well, they came into the system at 12:59 last night, and they're from, Facebook or whatever it might be. And even like using the system, I could tell whether they're from the website, my website, whether it's from Facebook, whether it's from, like, I literally have every bit of information I need to, run good ads.
Right. It's important to know that stuff. People don't realize that, but like I've talked to a lot of people who claim to be experts at, for instance, like Google ads. And I started asking them questions like, well, how do you know, like, how much are you paying per lead? Well, I'm not sure. Like, all right, well, or they'll have like 5 campaigns running. They'll have Google ads running. They'll have Facebook ads running, they have all this stuff. Money's going out like crazy. And I'm like, well, how many of those leads came in from Google? Well, I don't have any way to track that. It's like, how do you know what's doing well? Typically we'll break a campaign down. You'll find out that like 80% is coming from one part. So why, and they'll have the ad spend flipped. They'll be spending 20% of their budget on something that's generating 80% of the leads. And that is a real fast way to improve numbers overnight, is just knowing where stuff comes from.
Yeah.
So super important. Really cool that it's easy to understand that. So let me ask you, what are you right now spending on average per month on Facebook ads?
I spend about $900 a month on Facebook ads.
All right. And what's your cost per lead?
My cost per lead is usually between $8 to $12 per lead per month. It's up around 12, but I'm about to make another ad set, and anytime it goes above 12, like I usually shut that ad off. Then I put another picture of smiling kids up on it, and it takes off for the next 6 months, and then I'm good and don't have to do anything.
I love it. There it is. Simple, easy.
I think November, December, my cost per lead in November, December was like, November was super low. It was about 782, like 780. Yeah, I think in December, it said like 830 something.
So about 100 leads or so a month.
Yeah, I usually around like 80 to 100 leads.
80 to 100 leads. And how do your numbers go across? Like, how many new students come in off of that on a monthly basis?
I hit usually between a 15 to 20% conversion rate. I think over the past year, it's been sitting average about 18 from the bottom end. It's about one in 5.
Yeah. So like 10, 15 students a month, sometimes more depending on the lead flow.
I usually am not happy unless we get 20.
20. Okay. There it is.
That's usually my goal is like 20. Many a month, very rarely do we not hit 20. Usually a lot of months has been a lot higher than 20. I think especially when I first started with you, I didn't hit less than 20 1 month for like the first year and a half.
Yeah. It's awesome. So about $45 in ad spend gets you a new student pretty regularly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and are you selling a trial? Are you enrolling them right away? What's your process there?
So what, kind of talking about like what we were talking about and making the process my own. Everyone comes in essentially on the free week, and then I sell them for what I call my extended trial, where they pay for 2 more extra weeks, and then they get a free uniform on top for signing up and spending money now. And it's 3 weeks for $92. 95% of the people who are going to stay, pick the extended trial. The people who, just want a free offer, get that free week, etc. And then they're gone and not like clogging up the school. And then from there, I have them where it auto enrolls them. They enroll up on a membership that they pay the $92, and then it starts in 3 weeks. And everyone that does that, they auto enroll after 3 weeks. So I don't even have to worry about like a reseller pitch or getting them off the trial. It's just like Netflix, where the Netflix free month or free week that they have, where you pay $92 and then you get auto enrolled, you get a free uniform, etc. And that's essentially how I sell it. And I did it that way too, because for at the time I was growing really fast, and I needed a system that, like, it wasn't a sale, it was just like a here, because my grandma was actually selling my membership.
I remember that.
In class and managing people, I was like, Grandma, can you come sign people up for me?
Duplicatable.
Yeah.
If grandma can do it, anybody can do it.
She barely could turn on a computer. Like, that's how simple the system is. My grandma signing people up for $92 trials for me.
I love it. I love it. So let's go back to that first phone call that we had. What was the thing that really tipped the scale to make you say, yep, I'm going to join the program. I want to get involved. Here's my credit card, John. Let's do this. Like, what was the thing that tipped the scale? Maybe one or two things that kind of made you go, okay, I can see this working.
I felt at that point like I actually had to borrow a little bit of money from my sister to pay for the first couple months. I was like, all right, John, I have like enough to pay for the first couple months. If I don't make enough back on my students from the trial memberships or the monthly memberships, then I can't continue past 2 months because I just don't have the funds. I was very upfront with you, and you, honestly, it was just like your friendly personality, because at that time I talked to a couple people and they were just trying to sell me instead of help me. And I was shopping for insurance, like health insurance, earlier this week. And there's, you need this, and you need this, and you need this, and you need this. And I was like, honestly, what sold me was talking to you and your personality, and you just trying to sit there and help me and figure it out, because obviously I wasn't doing it correct enough or efficient enough that I was enrolling students. And that's what really tipped the scales, was being in a place where I needed to make a decision, and then picking the guy that felt like he was going to help me a lot. And I remember, like, the first few months you called me, and then I would call him like, hey, what if I tried this? And like every idea for a couple months I had, and you're like, yeah, let's hop on a call. Let's hop on a call. Let's hop on a call. You have a million other people, but you're always like, let's hop on a call. Let's hop on a call. All right. And, and that just, what I thought would happen at the beginning, you exceeded my expectations and worked on me, and half the stuff that I called you about that I had an idea for is now implemented in my business a few years later.
I love it. Yeah. You're kind of a unique case with us too, because you started with us as an agency. We were actually doing everything, ads and all this stuff for you. And then when we switched the model, we offered it to you. We're like, hey, we're changing over to where you can do all this stuff yourself. I knew you would be one of the first guys that was wanting to do that, because you were always like, all right, well, how do I do this? And what if I did that? And you were always that idea kind of guy. So I knew like Maxwell is going to be all over this student magnet. So tell me the difference versus paying us to do it every month versus doing it yourself. Like, what's the workload? Is it a lot more? Is it like, give me the pros and cons.
Of course, it's a little bit more work because I have to go in and do it, but it's not that much more. I spend probably an hour, maybe two max every month on my ads at that point. Once you get them up and running, and you at this point, like, whenever the ad didn't perform, I would just put a new picture on it. Or maybe I would change this little punchline here and punchline there, and then and make several copies of it, but change like one thing. And I was like, all right, well, these are my ads. Now I have about 10 ads I just cycle through. So it's like, oh, this ad isn't performing anymore. Let's refresh it and put this ad that performed, a year ago up. And so now I have like a good bank of about 10 ads, and that allows me to just literally just go click a box and hit live and then refresh it. And because those ads are what helps me, and so there wasn't that much increased workload at all for me. Plus, again, like being part of the program, when you switch models, that even gave me more. To me, it gave me more value because it gave me knowledge. It gave me knowledge on how to do that stuff, and that's one reason. Like, I loved when you ran ads for me, but I hated not knowing how to do it myself because I hate being dependent, and I hate what if, what if?
Right. What if John gets run over by a bus? Who's going to run my ads now? This is working so good. I never met anybody that does it like this. What's he doing? Right.
John, I know Laura has some plans if you got run over by a bus. I'm not sure.
Right. It works out for everybody, right? She's
a
a millionaire and doing the business, isn't it?
For those of you who don't know, one time something happened and we were like, John, careful, you could die. And Laura, his wife, looked at me and said, that'd be great for both of us.
She didn't say great. She said everything worked out fine.
That's what it was. You're right. I did have a question for Maxwell, though, from a standpoint, because there's two things I hear a lot right now from school owners. I talk to a ton of school owners, and the two things are we're still building back from COVID. And I heard you say something about just being in control of your growth during COVID and how you were actually able to come out during it, you were actually able to improve your business. And then two, a lot of people are like right now, this time of year are excited about all the growth that happens in January, but they know that like March is coming and they know that it's going to die down. So they have this feeling of excitement, but it's also like, yeah, I know this won't last. So what kind of advice would you give people that still feel like, hey, COVID had an impact on my business that I haven't been able to dig out of? And hey, I get these swells, these ups and downs throughout the year. I just want consistent growth. I want it to be like this year round. What kind of advice would you give school owners that are kind of in that spot?
Before you share that, Maxwell, before you share that, I want to hear everybody say, I'm inspired by this. So if you're inspired, give us I'm inspired, because this is awesome, man. I love seeing this. And these success stories are meant to inspire you guys. So if you're getting inspired by this call, just leave us a chat there and say inspired, and let Maxwell know, show him some love, because he's going to share some good wisdom and some good knowledge with you guys. So type inspired in the comments and show him some love. And then back to you, Max. Go ahead and answer that question for Travis. What advice are you going to give school owners in that situation?
So the ebbs and flows will happen. It's inevitable in business, but during the certain times, like the season, since having a marketing strategy, like a consistent marketing strategy, and if you're dealing with major ebbs and flows, then you just need a better marketing strategy. And those seasons, the March till June season in martial arts, where it dips because everyone's going away for summer or whatnot, having like a good marketing strategy, my summer season's really just like May and June. And at that time, I find other ways to pivot or run ads. For instance, having this algorithm and knowing how to run ads, I might run a summer camp ad and then run a summer camp. During Christmas, I run a Karate for Christmas app, because those are the two times where usually it ebbs, right? And so I really just duplicate the ad and put it during those like ebb times, and it just levels everything out and makes, again, where I could shoot for a steady 20 people a month and in the system. That's honestly it. I just take the strategy I already have and just edit it to whatever season it might be to, cut it.
I love it, man. Walk me through something real quick, because I remember for me personally in business, when I would, I've started multiple businesses, but there's always that period of struggle in the beginning where you're like trying to get things going. But there's always a day, once you figure this stuff out, when you wake up and you go, I'm never gonna have to worry about this again. Like, do you remember that day? And what was that like for you emotionally when you were like, 20 students is my minimum, like that's it, and I know I can hit it, I don't have any doubts? Like, what is that like for you emotionally to have that like on lock like that?
Oh, stress level. Oh, like all of this right here, all this balding, happened the first couple of years of having the business, and it just it was probably after Corona, because at that point, right when it hit, I've been doing stuff for about a year, right, and everything's been going my way, and like, all right, cool. And then after we got back from lockdown, just being able to like turn on the ads again, and just having, I was getting like $1.85 leads, and like after that I was like, holy moly. And then I started playing with the credit for Christmas ads, and all the ads started to like replicate, and it just it hit me. I was like, man, it's not that I would be able to survive doing this for my business, but even if I want multiple businesses, I feel like I could I feel I could market anything now, on Facebook and make decent money. And having that, like, I'm never going to have to work for anyone in my life again, because no matter what happens, I'm going to be able to sell stuff online. I'm going to be able to sell stuff through Facebook. I'm going to be able to sell some membership, some whatever it might be. And that's super, super reassuring for sure.
I love it, man. That's such an awesome perspective of just having that moment. Cause I can remember the moment where it's like, this skill is going to be so life lasting that it really is inspiring to see that happening with you. So if you guys are inspired, hit the chat buttons and hit the chat buttons. I sound like a 90-year-old man on Facebook. Go on the face space and hit the chat buttons.
Listen, John, if Maxwell's grandma can sell intros, you can help.
I can do Facebook
live stream.
I can do it. Hit the chat buttons, y'all. Let's do it. Man, I don't know. I'm out of my element today. I got this stupid fake background, and we're gonna be back into it next week. But thanks for sticking with me, everybody, today. If you're inspired, type the word inspired, hit the like button, give us a heart, let Maxwell know that you appreciate his time here. I certainly appreciate it. This is great, man. I just love it. It's so cool to see just the growth in you personally, and then the growth in your business, and just like your realness and through it all. And I love to see how you put your own little spin on things. And, again, you're more unique because you like to get in there and you like to make all these different ads and make the Christmas ad and all that stuff. A lot of our members are doing great without that, but it's awesome to see that. But the thing I love is the theme that we always see, which is old ceilings becoming new floors. And the fact that you said, I'm never going to have to work for somebody ever again. That's an empowering thing. Like, that's a super strong, empowering thought and a belief, because I know there's a lot of martial arts school owners who have considered, well, maybe I'll just go back to a job, or maybe I'll go work at the car wash again. Like, you'll never.
Or they're doing it now.
Or they're doing it now, or they had to do it because of coronavirus, and now they're back at a job that they don't like, and the passion is the martial arts. I mean, here's a guy, Maxwell, who could literally probably go and sell anything online. What's he doing? He's running his dojo because it's his passion. That's what he loves to do, right? And so that's what we're really that's who we're looking to work with, is not just a bunch of people who are looking to sell whatever online. We're looking for people like Maxwell who are stuck and want to get to a place where they never have to work for somebody ever again. And the thing that they would do if they could do anything is teach martial arts. And so if that's you, what I would love to do is invite you onto a private, it's just a 15-minute call. We'll probably put you on the phone with either Travis or Ignacio. Is he taking those calls now? Yeah, he is, right? I think you're muted, Travis. So you're talking, but no one can hear
I'm talking. You. It's like my way. I'm talking.
You have to hit the chat buttons on the face space. And then
I was giving you all an experience of what it's like for my wife in our lives. Talk, no one's listening. Yeah, Ignacio's taking him because he's doing such a great job. Got a lot of great feedback, giving people game plans and strategies to execute on, and just really kind of understand, hey, is this something, is the success that Maxwell is having and the things he's doing, is that stuff that would benefit your school? And if so, hey, let's talk about what that might look like for you and what types of, needles we need to move, but maybe it's something else. And Ignacio's just really an expert at that. So I'm excited to be able to get people in touch with him.
He is. He's doing great, man. I just love hearing, because we listen to some of the calls. I just love listening to the way he's really guiding school owners on a game plan and really giving them something that is valuable just in that 15 minutes. So there's nothing for sale on the call. What the call is really designed for is to give you a game plan to see if you'd be a good candidate like Maxwell was for the program, or if not, because if you're not, we're not going to enroll you. We're at the same position where Maxwell was just talking about, where we have a flow of martial arts school owners joining our group all the time, and we are choosing who to work with. And it's not to say that we're some elitist group. We just want to make sure it's a good fit for you, because we want success stories. We don't want you to join the program if it's not going to work for you, because what good does that do? This community is way too small for us to just take your credit card and run it for you to be like, yeah, this isn't working. And then to tell all your friends, because we know you guys all know each other. So it doesn't do us any good. We only want to work with schools we know it's going to work with. So if you want that call, just type the word grow in the comments right now and let us know. And what'll happen is either Travis or myself or Ignacio is going to reach out and set you up on the calendar for a quick 15-minute call. And you're going to get a game plan from the call either way. So a lot of times we're just going to look at some of the things that we know, the pillars of things that you need set up, and maybe we'll find the hole in it. Because a lot of times it just takes an expert to just shine a light on a dark area you don't even know exists and go, oh, this is an easy spot to fill. Here's how you can go fill it. We might send you some free resources, or we might say, hey, you'd be a good fit for our program. Let's talk about that. And then what we'll do at that point is we're not going to take your credit card, because we don't do sales on that call. Nothing for sale on the call. We'll set up another call where you can talk through what it would look like to work with us closer. So this is just a quick 15-minute call. It's a game plan call. And what's great is, it's easy, it's simple, it's fast, it doesn't take that much time, and there's nothing for sale. So the pressure's off, right? You can leave your wallet in the drawer, and you just get on the phone and get some good information about it. So it's exciting, Maxwell, for you to be on. I so appreciate you being on here, man. One more question before we wrap up here is, I would love to hear just really quick what you're most excited about moving forward now that we've blown past the original goals, you've restructured things. So over the next 12 months, what are you most excited about for your school?
I'm excited about being able to renovate my current location, because that location I moved in a few years ago, I was growing so much, and I haven't had enough space in my school for a while, just because I have the steady flow. I've had to kind of go around, getting and tailor my classes, because the floor is full. I have my largest class is 34 kids in it, and I just need more space. And so I'm demoing right now. I'll turn around and flip my screen around so y'all can see what I'm.
Yeah, let's see this, man.
Yeah.
There we go. So I'm building a drop roof right here. All of this was a stage, and this will be finished here in the next month. And I was able to get all these nice hanging bags, but my little 800 square foot floor doesn't cut it anymore. And I'm this year, here in the next couple months, all of this will be covered in mats and able to handle the amount of kids I have, because that's one of the issues. That's the problem y'all created for me. I have 2 students now.
Love it. It's a good problem to have, man. That's awesome.
Looks like you're eating a sandwich again, Maxwell. You getting leads while you're on that sandwich again? Is it kind of a good luck charm?
Yep, exactly.
That's the first time I've ever heard somebody say I got more leads eating a sandwich than I got doing anything else. That's going to be the quote for this one.
Yeah, that moment with the sandwich, it was just mind-boggling. It really was. It really was.
Better than one of our school owners in Wisconsin, Craig Johnson, said he was walking his dog and he was cleaning up dog poop, I think. And he got a ding, then he got an appointment booked. And he was like, only with Get Karate students can I book appointments on cleaning up dog crap. I like your sandwich better.
Yeah. That one will probably get approved by a Facebook ad if we put that in the quotes. The other one probably wouldn't. I love it. It's great, man. It's beautiful to see. I love the impact you're making on the community there. And, obviously it's just the beginning still. We know in 12 months from now, you're going to be so much further along. hopefully we get to check back in with you again. But thank you for the inspiration, Maxwell. It's great. We still got people on the live stream. Looks like we're still live, so it's awesome. So, Max was just one of our success stories from our programs. We've been helping some of the most successful and most profitable martial arts schools in the world. Last time I checked, we've enrolled over 15,000 students in the past couple of years in almost 300 schools around the world with this system. And really our vision is to create an army of Maxwells, just the most profitable, the most quality martial arts school owners. Because again, one thing that this program won't work for is if you don't have quality instruction. So we should probably just get that off the table right now. If you're not teaching good classes, it's not going to work because you're going to get people in there and they're just going to quit, right? So if you have quality classes and you're making an impact on the community, you just want to make a bigger impact. You want to reach more kids or more adults or more, whatever you're doing. Because I think something we didn't even touch on, but Maxwell, you have a adult program too, like women's kickboxing, I think you do, right? And you do like men's fitness. You're still doing the adult stuff too, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So it's not just kids classes. I know a lot of people get caught up and they're like, wait a minute, is this just for kids? No, this works for everything. So if you are looking for that game plan call, just go into the comments right now, type the word grow, and we'll reach out, see if it's a good fit. And, we want to just figure it out. We want to see what's going on in your school, what challenges you run into, what problems you have. And from there, if it's a good fit, we'll talk to you about that. If for some reason it's not a good fit, we might refer you over to somebody else that could help you out better. And so again, it's just the same processes. If you're looking for those processes that Maxwell's talking about, the same processes that he used, the same templates, the same support, the same mentorship that Max had to go from 5 students in the jump zone up to 130 something students in his own custom dojang where he's actually doing remodeling, and you're considering working with us. This is the exact process that he went through to learn about us. He got on the phone, we talked about it, we got on another call, we talked about it. Maybe you just have some questions. Maybe you're just wondering, like, I don't even know if this is right for me. I don't even know what it looks like. I don't even know exactly what you guys do. I don't know what it would look like to be for your specific situation. Maybe you just want some more information. Just type grow in the comments and we'll get on a 15-minute call. Nothing for sale on the call. And just to really understand and diagnose what's happening there. If you're a good fit, we'll set you up with some homework. We'll give you some additional resources and we'll let you know what those next steps are for working with us. But if you want that call, just type in the comments grow right now. And, we'll have our team keeping an eye on it. Travis will be looking, Ignacio will be watching, and we'll send you a private Facebook message. We'll book that quick phone call, help you get that clarity. We're going to walk you through what it would look like for your school specifically. And then one day, maybe you'll be on an interview just like this, like Maxwell here, and you'll be talking to me and Travis about how awesome it's been and how quickly things change and how abundant your life has been. And, maybe that'll be you one day. And so, that's what we hope and that's what we look for. And that's really one of the reasons for this quick game plan call is to see, could you be one of our success stories? Because that's all we want is success stories at this point. So we'll hook you up on the grow call. Just go ahead and, we'll give you some resources. Just type the word grow. And, if you're not a good fit, we might send you other resources. We got a lot of free resources we can give out too. And so, maybe some trainings or some friends of ours that would do better fit for you. It really just depends on where you're at. And we don't know until we get on that call. So that's what the call is really for. So Maxwell, thank you so much, man. It's been a real pleasure. I know personally, I was inspired. You're one of my favorite members of all time, just because I love the story. I love your energy. And so any final words before we wrap up?
Well, if you're on the edge or signing up with John and Travis at Get Karate Students, do it. The system is great. The software is great. Everything's great, but sign up for John and Travis because they literally will get in the trenches with you and help you figure stuff out. I can't send a message without getting one back within like the next few minutes. Like they really will help you and help you figure your business out and what you need individually. And that's why you sign up at Get Karate Students. That is for John and Travis and their expertise. They're truly fantastic. And I wish everything worked out for me like Get Karate Students did. So I highly recommend it. And I think it'll change your life if you do.
Wow. Awesome, man. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. So awesome. I can't wait to see where you're at in 12 months, man. We got to check back in with you for sure. But thanks for taking the time out of your day to join us here. Thank you, everybody. In the comments, if you would, just hit the like button a bunch of times, hit the heart button, show Maxwell some love, like clapping emojis are cool, right? Is this clapping or is this praying? I never know.
I think that might be.
That's praying. I think there's a clapping one that's like sideways, like this with a little, just give it some emojis. What's that?
You're losing it, buddy.
I'm losing it?
You're losing it, man.
Hey, I'm just having fun, man. This is just, what are we doing here if we're not having fun, right? So just
there you go. Ignacio gave us the clapping emoji. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's the clapping one like this. See?
That's awesome.
Not the praying one. This is the praying one. Or it's also
I'm praying for you.
Right? Please leave us a clapping emoji if you enjoyed this call. I don't know. All right. Well, now that I've proven I'm old, I just want to give out one more invitation to any of those on the call with us that would like to potentially work with us. We do have some room for those game plan calls. So just type the word grow and we will get you set up with that call. We'll reach out, we'll get you set up. Either way, you're going to get a ton of insight on what's really going on in your martial arts school from that call. And if you're a good fit, we'll share it with you. If it works, we'll bring you into our membership. Our members, like Maxwell here, are doing amazing things. And we hope that we can help you get those same results too. So the final time I'm going to say it, go ahead and go into the comments, type the word grow, and we will reach out. So thank you everyone for joining us today. Apologies for the technical difficulties. Hopefully we can merge these two videos together and post it. But in the meantime, thank you for all those who are here live, and we'll see you here next Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern right here in the group. So thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.